How do you feel about the recent events surrounding the sculpture that once stood right here?
I think it's bad for the community that someone would vandalize the deer, but I'm also on the other side not going to lose any sleep over the incident. So
I actually think it's amazing. I think it's wonderful that alumni that have already graduated still feel the need to share something wonderful with campus.
Well, I mean, alums giving us stuff is always a good idea, and art, whether it's art money or anything. So I was pleased that they were willing to donate such a thing.
I'm not a big fan of it. I thought it was kind of a waste of money and it's an eyesore to the community of DePauw.
I think it was a really nice donation. I think that obviously they put a lot of their thought and their money into the donation, so I think that it was a really nice donation to DePauw.
I feel as most DePauw students should feel, appalled, horrified that I'm a DePauw student, horrified that, you know, we didn't expect more, that DePauw students couldn't be adult enough to not vandalize or ruin something so beautiful, that, you know what, some of the things that are being said as far as, you know what, this deer was out of place, this deer was different, so am I.
Well, it's disappointing, right? I mean, it only takes 2 or 3 people to reflect poorly on all of us, but it was very disappointing that somebody would do such a thing.
I thought it was kind of humorous. We discussed it in one of my classes, but I hear it's kind of a sore subject with some of the professors kind of going off on some students and having protests, so I think they're taking it too serious. So.
On a college campus with a glittery object right next to a frat house, I think it was almost bound to happen. But with the protest, I really wasn't expecting it. I didn't think it was going to be that big of an issue.
Well, I don't think that people should have messed with it as much as they did, but it's a ridiculous statue.
I really don't feel that it needed to be blown up as much as it was.
I think it's a bunch of BS. I think that it's more important to worry about people than it is about a piece of artwork that can be fixed or even replaced. I think that a lot of people are overblowing this, and the name calling and the finger pointing and the high horsing is really convenient, but I don't think it really solves the problem or even addresses the issue. So I think it's interesting that the staff are saying that, oh, how they're so disappointed in the DePauw student and alumni and the community, as if we're all, well, Nazis apparently, as it goes. I proudly am a Nazi, apparently, as you can tell by my ethnic, background and diversity. Yeah, that Nazism and whole being a Marine Corps officer candidate thing works hand in hand. So I like the name calling and the finger pointing and the fact that it does nothing to solve the issue or even address the problem. And I think that if we're really going to address the problem, we need to sit down and talk about it in an intellectual fashion. And as to the staff and the professionals who are like, oh, well, DePauw, there's no hope, I wonder why they're still here if truly we are so hopeless in a fight that's already over.
In a way, I guess it is cool because we're having this community dialogue about something, and I like that. It causes controversy, so it's cool.
I'm really appalled about the damage that was done to the deer. I think it was horrible, and people don't respect the artist's right to make a statement. Even if you don't, I personally don't agree that I think the deer belongs on campus, but I do respect that it's a piece of art and it needs to be respected as that and as a person's voice.
Well, no, I mean, you got 2 or 3. I'm disappointed. I mean, it reflects poorly on all of us. But the vast majority, 99.8% of the students don't think this was a good idea. And you always have a couple of bad apples in any group this large. And I mean, it's disappointing, very disappointing that people would think this is okay or would be willing to do it. But the response has, I think, been heartwarming, and I'm glad that students got involved in this.
I don't really think it shows that we're all stupid or we're intolerant, or entitled to our own opinions, but it has shown there's a little bit of more of a conservative lean on this campus, and I think that was pretty obvious before the deer came, so I don't think it's a big shock.
The vandalism, I don't think you can say it shows anything about the character of DePauw students, because 1 or 2 out of all the students here doesn't, to me, represent too much of anything. The protest, on the other hand, I think it shows that when DePauw students really think about something that they care about, then they'll show how strongly they feel about it.
You cannot judge a whole group by an individual's actions. Some people make bad decisions and it reflects sorely on the group, but there's no way you can judge a whole group, especially if 3,000 people on the act solely of like 2 or 3 people maybe.
I know one professor was saying that DePauw students were intolerant, and I agree that this shows that a lot of kids are intolerant, but I don't know what they were expecting with the deer. We didn't really know what it was about. We didn't know why it was there. I think we should have had like more time to like realize what was going on, what the deer was about, what it meant, like the meanings behind it. And I think, I don't think it's necessarily like, I don't know. I'm not surprised it happened, and I don't think anything of it really.
So as you can see, emotions and thoughts are mixed regarding the recent activities to our precious deer. While some may be highly opinionated, others basically don't care. On any note, from award-winning cameraman Brian Tikolvek and Ryan Tinker, Tikolvek Productions, we hope you had fun.